Marcellus kept his expression deadpan. His eyes showed no hint of a smile, but I could clearly see the mockery glinting in their depths. Stepmother romance tropes. He was absolutely doing this on purpose. He might as well have called it godmother romance tropes to my face. Before I could cook up a snappy comeback, Celeste returned. With her back at the table, the meal was exceptionally lively. Her warmth was infectious, making it impossible not to enjoy the mood. However, towards the end, a tiny mishap occurred. When Celeste went to the ladies' room for the second time, she ran into an old friend from her bridge club and was promptly whisked away to play a few rounds. She patted my hand as she stood up. "Mackenzie, dear, they've got me itching for a game. I'm going to play a couple of rounds. Once you're finished, just let Marcellus drive you home. He's a steady driver. I trust him." Before I could even find the words to refuse, Celeste had vanished with her friends. I swallowed hard and turned to look at Marcellus. He had a toothpick dangling from his lips. When he saw me looking, he raised an eyebrow. "Let's eat, godmother." With that demeanour, he didn't look like a doctor. He looked more like a mafia boss. I fell silent, glancing at the food remaining on the table. "I'm full." Marcellus tilted his head. "Full? It seems, godmother, your appetite isn't as big as it looks." My blood boiled. "Listen to that. Is that something a human being says? Do I look like I have a huge appetite?" Marcellus raised a hand to flag down the server. "Excuse me, check please," I chimed in. "Could you also bring me 2 takeaway containers?" "Thank you." Marcellus looked at me in surprise, so I quickly explained, "There's too much left over. It's a waste. I'll pack it up for Celeste to take back." He didn't say a word. He paid the bill and waited patiently as I packed up the leftovers. Marcellus. As we walked out of the restaurant, I called his name, feeling awkward. If he could call me godmother, I certainly couldn't bring myself to call him my son. Marcellus pushed the glass door open and stepped aside to let me pass. Once I was outside, I pulled my jacket tighter. "Let's swap WhatsApp handles. I'll split the bill with you." Marcellus lowered his gaze to look at me for a few seconds, then suddenly laughed. "Godmother, that's such an old-school way to ask for someone's number." I glared at him. "Don't be so narcissistic. I just want to go Dutch. After all," I pursed my lips, "I am an elder after all." Even if this elder was only 2 years his senior. Marcellus smirked, unfazed by my jab at his ego. He rattled off a string of numbers, adding, "That's my handle." I paused, then opened the app to add him. His profile picture was a shot from behind, and his display name was blunt, Marcellus. By comparison, my godmother tier profile looked a bit childish. A meme of a fat orange cat, and the display name, "It is Mackenzie E.E." We reached his car just as the request sent. I was about to transfer the money when a hand pressed down on my phone screen. Fair-skinned, slender, and well-defined. Those were the first thoughts that crossed my mind. I looked up and caught his profile. There are just some people in this world who make you marvel more every time you look at them. It really is unfair of God. Some people are just perfect from every angle. Don't worry about the transfer. Just treat me to a meal next time, godmother. I couldn't very well refuse, so I nodded. After asking for my address, Marcellus drove me home. At the entrance to my apartment complex, he turned to look at me. "Do you need me to walk you up?" "No, thanks." I unbuckled my seatbelt and gave him a formal, perfunctory nod. "Drive carefully. Stay safe. Will do." After I got out, I saw Marcellus roll down the window, resting one arm on the frame as he lit a cigarette. He looked actually kind of cool. I didn't dare look any longer. I waved and hurried inside. What an intriguing guy. A doctor who carried himself with such rebellious flair. Even though he was 2 years younger than me, he was always the one taking the lead. And despite being drop-dead gorgeous, he had absolutely no interest in women. I had a good night's sleep, a really good sleep. I actually dreamt of Marcellus. In the dream, he had me cornered on the sofa. We were being affectionate, and he leaned in to kiss my earlobe, whispering, "Godmother." What was that even supposed to mean? The dream cut off. I opened my eyes and sat up against the headboard for a while, feeling an increasing tightness in my chest. I'd been having this pain for a few days, but today it seemed particularly severe. I looked it up online, prodded myself according to the guide, and I don't know if it was just my imagination, but I felt like there was a lump. I'm a coward by nature, and the more I thought about it, the more scared I got. I took a day off from work and grabbed a cab to a top-tier private hospital. I checked in and paid the fees. Perhaps because it was a weekday, the clinic wasn't very crowded. There were only 2 people ahead of me, and after waiting for a bit on the lounge chairs, I heard my name called. I clutched my registration slip and headed in, only to freeze. It was a male doctor. He was looking down, sitting against the backlight, so I couldn't see his face. Oh well, a doctor is a doctor. I walked to the desk, sat down, and handed over the slip. "Doctor, I've been feeling chest pain for the last couple of days. Do you think—" I stopped mid-sentence as the doctor looked up. A string of choice expletives nearly escaped my lips. The male doctor in the white coat was holding a pen between his fingers, looking at me with a smirk. That face, it was ridiculously, impossibly good-looking. "Godmother,"